Hello, welcome back to Zenith Unlocked Freedom from Addiction, where you're getting the 10 keys you need to overcome your addiction and truly live the life that you were meant to live, the life that you can still live. This addiction does not need to keep you from this life anymore. The addiction is ending. You have put a cease and desist order on it. It is being evicted and you are claiming your life again. You are taking back control. And this is a humble thing to do. You are recognizing that this needs to change. You are not making excuses for it. You are not denying its existence. You are being real, recognizing the truth of the matter, and you are working to make a real difference in your life. And being real truly is being humble. Humility is a way of thinking, an approach to reality that you want to maintain as best you can. It is truly a lens, like lenses and eyeglasses through which you see the world most clearly. In this way, we can say that humility is the prescription you need to properly view yourself and the world around you. Just like those who have bad vision need to go to the optometrist to have their eyes fitted for the correct prescription for their glasses to be able to see clearly, so too do we need the correct prescription of humility to see ourselves correctly. However, it is possible for you to wreck this prescription, and really no one else can do this but you. There are certain attacks on yourself that you can mount that kill humility. What I mean by this is that there are certain attitudes or behaviors that keep you from seeing yourself and loving yourself appropriately as you are meant to see and love yourself. Let's go ahead and identify these killers, and then I will explain each one. The 3 killers of humility are self-dependence, self-obsession, and self-indulgence. Notice how each one of these involves you doing something to yourself. This is what I meant when I said that no one else can wreck your humility prescription but you. So the first killer is self-dependence. This is not quite the same as independence, which is being able to take care of yourself. No, instead, self-dependence is believing that you have all the resources you need to take care of yourself and that you do not need anyone in your life to be happy or succeed. You think you have everything you need, and you truly believe that trusting others is either unnecessary or will disappoint you. It is easy to see how people can kill humility in their life with self-dependence if they had any humility to begin with. When we put too much emphasis on our own strengths and resources, we are not seeing ourselves as we truly are. We are viewing ourselves as being greater than we are, and this will cause us to put too much pressure on ourselves, think less than others, even worse, not allow others to help us, or we are not open to seek good solutions that can help us. Next, we have self-obsession, which is probably the most obvious killer of humility. However, the way that self-obsession is carried out might not be exactly how you expect. There are 2 main ways in which self-obsession can have a negative impact on the person and destroy humility within them. The first way is more well known, and it's when someone thinks too highly of themselves, making themselves the center of their own world in which all of their needs come before and even at times at the cost of others. Another way in which self-obsession can hurt someone is when they think too lowly of themselves, making themselves the center of their own worlds. However, in this self-obsession, they are more focused on how terrible they are. Their own misery with themselves takes all of their attention and energy, rendering them emotionally and mentally incapacitated, or at the very least unable to pay any attention to others. Both of these kill humility because the person is not viewing and loving himself or herself accurately. Next, we have self-indulgence, which actually is different from self-obsession. With self-indulgence, you are pampering yourself too much, without discipline, giving in to every whim so that you have no need of willpower. This kills humility because you are treating yourself better than you deserve and will begin to act like you are better than you are. Do not get me wrong, you are great. However, if we are real, we all need to control ourselves without pampering ourselves too much all of the time. There is a certain level of understanding we need to maintain, and that we as humans need to fast and sacrifice in order to keep in mind our humanity and not think too much of ourselves. Furthermore, giving into our desires too much can help lead us to give into our addictions. It is not that getting a massage every once in a while is bad, or eating an ice cream cone and a cookie with your spouse on a date night is terrible. However, there is a way of life that people choose to live that has as little sacrifice and difficulty as possible, and that can lead them to destroy their humility and fall into their addiction. Let's take a look at how we can deal with each of these to improve our humility. One technique we can use to deal with self-dependence is to work on depending on others more. By this I mean, allow someone else to do something for you. Allow a friend to pick you up and drive you to a function. Entrust your grocery list to your spouse or older child, or ask people to do other things for you. And while your friend, child, or spouse might let you down, try to force yourself to remember that the purpose of life is not to be the most efficient, on time, or to always get everything on the grocery list. While these are noble virtues to practice, when others fail us in these, we remember that the purpose in life is to love others despite these failings. And we remember that they love us despite our flaws as well. A tactic for overcoming self-obsession is that you should grow your empathy by reading more quality books. This will allow you to get into the head of others by way of reading the thoughts of the characters of the books. This will create empathy and weaken your obsession with yourself as you begin to think more about others and their thoughts. Another tactic is that you can fight to put others before yourself. This will weaken your obsessive focus on yourself and help other people in the process. Finally, you can counter self-indulgence with the opposite action as well, which is fasting. Fasting is basically giving something up as a sacrifice. This can be food, some form of entertainment, warm showers, using a pillow, or maybe even giving up using your phone for non-essential reasons. This sacrifice can be for as long as you want to offer it. Some just go for a day, some for a week, and others will offer a sacrifice for a month. If you offer sacrifices up each day, you will begin to slowly train yourself to indulge less and less. Offering a sacrifice is an action in which you say no to something you want or like so that it becomes easier to say no to yourself in the future, even making it easier to say no to your addiction. This makes it easier to break the pattern of self-indulgence, which can often lead you into giving into your addiction, as you can say no to yourself instead of saying yes to self-indulging.